Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for another mansion in Sulani. It was time to build a tropical beach themed build. A bit more happy, just the perfect thing, because right now over here it's winter, it's really dark, it's really gloomy, so I just felt like building a tropical dream mansion. Really colorful, really happy, a couple of fun tricks, so it looks extra special. And this mansion was built on a 50 by 50 lot. It has 3 bedrooms. This lot isn't the biggest one. Also, there is lots of water. I built above the water and I used a part of it for an ocean pool using a fun little trick that I've shown you in a tutorial right after Island Living came out. I'm going to talk about this in this video as well. So I used a good amount of the space just for landscaping and the pool, because after all, this is a tropical mansion and I just wanted your Sims to be able to really enjoy the beach and the ocean. So I definitely wanted to incorporate this type of pool. There's also a regular pool. I also used a new trick for this. I'm also going to talk about this. So building this was really fun and challenging. This was also one of those builds where I just added more and more to the build, and I stopped a couple of times to kind of gather my thoughts. Sometimes I start to build and it just happens, and within a couple of hours I'm just done and really happy. But some builds just take a bit longer, and I feel like I just have to take a break and I have to figure out what to do next, and this was definitely one of those builds. I started off by building many platforms. I wanted to have stairs in the back which would lead down to the ocean, and I was generally using so many platforms and levels and rooms and this eco lifestyle wall decoration that I sometimes had no idea what to do next, to be honest. And I just used a little trick where I built a platform and then I placed the Sparday Stony Goodness slab on top, and this way I was able to create a ceiling between the 2 levels just so it looks more interesting. And when you do this, you have to be really careful. As soon as you build another room or platform right next to the Sparday Stony Goodness slabs, it's going to move them around or it's going to remove them, so you have to be really careful with this. And then I wanted to build some trellis for this. At first, I used a base game fence, but then I figured it doesn't look good, so I also used this eco lifestyle wall decoration for this roof, and I used tulle to rotate it. I used tulle in lots of areas for this build. So in case you have no idea, tulle is a mod that can be used to move objects around. You can take them off lot, you can rotate them. As you can see here, you can use tulle to find the correct position for an object. It's amazing. I'm going to link it down below in the description box. It's by Twisted Maxi, and what's amazing is it doesn't affect the gallery upload, so you don't need the mod to use this build, for example, or any build that was created using tulle. This is why I use this, because all my builds are CC free and unmodded. So what you see here is what you get. You can simply download this from the gallery. I just wanted to mention this. I haven't mentioned this in a while, and in case you're new here, this is the mod that I'm using to rotate different things and to do some tulle magic. I then built a pool, and the thing is, I've shown you in the past that you can use a foundation and then you can apply a translucent foundation color to the foundation, and this way you are able to create a glass pool. Here this wasn't really possible because I wanted to have this type of pool on different levels and different heights and all that, and in this case you can simply place lots of windows around your regular pool. It's just a wall and you build some windows, and then you can use tulle to scale down the windows, and they are so tiny that they are invisible. And this way it's the exact same look almost as the glass foundation pool, and here it was the better option. And also, let's say you would like to build a glass pool like this, you could build a foundation on the ground and then you could apply the translucent foundation color. Also, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can find this tutorial for the glass foundation pool in my tutorial playlist, which I always link down below. So this is what you could do on the ground. But let's say you would build a house and then on the 2nd floor you would like to have a glass pool like this. You can't build a foundation on the 2nd floor and raise it and apply the translucent glass color. This doesn't work. And now you may think, okay, but I could use a platform, right? No, you can't, because first of all, we can't build pools on platforms. They don't allow us to do this. It's not working. And also the translucent foundation color cannot be applied to platforms. So we are a bit limited when it comes to this. So this is a new little trick that I came up with that you can use to create a different version of the glass pool. If you would like to have an in-depth tutorial for this, let me know in the comments down below. I have no idea if you guys would be interested in that. And this is how I created this really fun looking pool. I wanted to have 2 different levels, and the main one, the taller one, is accessible by some stairs. I just added a foundation piece and some stairs, and you may have spotted a sim in the pool on the floaty in the very beginning of the video maybe. So it's fully functional, and the one at the bottom isn't functional. Your sims won't be able to enter this pool, but I'm going to place just some fountains in there, so it's just for decoration. I personally feel like that I personally underappreciate fountains a lot of the time. They're amazing. You can even use them to create waterfalls and stuff. And here I'm finally placing them. It just looks decorative and beautiful in my opinion. This little sphere that I'm placing in the pool is part of the base game. And it's supposed to be placed in this round fountain that I also used for different tutorials and things, so technically these 2 objects go together, but I just decided to place it like this just so it looks more interesting. And you may have spotted in the beginning that I also built a slide, and for this I used a cats and dogs object. It's one of those tubes that can be used to train your dogs. You will see this later. I'm just mentioning it already because you may have noticed that some of the floaties are a bit more colorful. I really love to use the white ones. I always build really bright and monochrome modern builds most of the time, but later on these slides are going to add a huge pop of color, so I decided to have some colorful floaties. I'm going to change the color to yellow later. I don't know, just didn't want the slide to look completely out of place, and I have to be honest, if there would be a white swatch for this tube, I would have built a white slide probably, but I had to go with a color, so eventually I ended up using this yellow red one, and I placed some yellow floaties in the pool. Here they are orange right now. And I used the Get Famous Pristine pedestal as some type of fence. I placed it at the top, and then I just built some small rooms, and I placed this eco lifestyle wall decoration around it, and I decided to just build some bushes inside them, like some type of really fancy planting pot. I felt like the shape is kind of interesting because of the stairs and the pool, and there's a round shape on the left side that I also created using some pristine pedestals, but I felt like something was missing, so I wanted to add more shrubbery, just more stuff here and there. I also decided to build an area for a hot tub so your sims can just hang out there. Later on I'm also going to build a bit of gym equipment so your sims have something to do, and this is just the perfect home if you want to stay at the beach. I really love Sulani and island living. It's one of the most stunning worlds, and as I always like to say, some packs are just perfect for builders in general, and I feel like island living was just a perfect pack for a builder. A new stunning world, lots of new build by objects. I just love this pack so much. Also soon there will be a new pack, which will be kind of a spooky pack. There will be ghost hunting, so a new career, a paranormal investigator, and then we will get a new lot type for haunted houses, which is so much fun. Bonehilda will be back. Also new build by, new cast objects, and this pack is going to come out in a couple of weeks, I think. I forgot the exact date, but I'm really excited about this, especially because it's just a stuff pack, and usually there isn't a lot of stuff inside a stuff pack. It's the smallest tier and there isn't a lot of stuff in it, so usually it's not that exciting. We got the butler with vintage glamour stuff pack, then in Moschino stuff pack there was a new career as well, but I feel like now here for the upcoming stuff pack, that's a lot, like a new lot type, a new career. I just didn't expect that, and I was at first kind of confused how they would use this whole ghost hunting idea and all that, and how they would turn it into a stuff pack, because I figured, okay, that's like a lot of new content. How are they going to transform this into a stuff pack? But yeah, they just put a lot of stuff into this small stuff pack, I have to say. And here I just built the slide, and I built the second one the exact same way. This is where I didn't include it because it took a while to just rotate all the stuff, but I did the same thing for the bigger slide, and I just rotated these tubes, which are part of cats and dogs, to create this slide. This slide is just decorative. We don't have a functional slide, unfortunately, so it looks really fancy and really special. So this is just about the looks, but the pool is of course functional and all the other stuff. So this is just a piece of decoration, which makes this build extra special in my opinion and really fun. At first I wanted to use a roof to create a slide, but then I didn't do that because I didn't like the look. I played around with some objects to create a slide, and after all, this was the best option, even though, as I said, I wasn't too happy with the color, but I just made the best out of the situation and added more yellow stuff here and there. And I then built a fence around a part of the ocean, as you can see here. And this fence is built on top of a foundation, and I then used the translucent foundation color that I mentioned earlier and applied it to the foundation. As you can see here, now I have some type of glass pool. So this is technically really close to the method that I mentioned earlier that I did not use for the pool at the top. I completely forgot when I was talking about this that I actually did this for this pool here, but I thought it would look more interesting. I didn't just want to have the open ocean, which is also super cool of course, but this is a barrier, so when your Sims jump into the ocean there, it functions as a pool, so your Sims shouldn't be able to just swim out. But you could open this up, you could remove a part of the fence, for example. If you want to connect this ocean pool to the rest of the ocean, you could totally do that. I just wanted to mention this. And then I added some stairs so your Sims would be able to walk up to the area where the slide is starting. Again, not functional and it's just decorative, but I wanted this to look as realistic as possible, so I still decided to place some stairs so your Sims can just walk up there. They can sunbathe up there, but it doesn't really serve a purpose. It just looks extra fun, and it was extra fun to build this, to be honest. I just love to play around with the tool mod to create some special looking things, so this was really fun, and maybe you enjoy it just looking at it when you're playing this. I mean, the house is functional, just not the slide, so maybe you enjoy that it looks a bit of fun and extra special. And maybe one day we're going to get a pack with stuff like this. Just imagine this, like a pool party stuff pack, or maybe I mean, it wouldn't be that big of a topic to just turn it into a game pack or anything, but I mean, we got so many weird stuff packs, like cool kitchen stuff, movie hangout stuff, so why not pool party stuff? Like the ability to host a proper pool party, just more floaties, and also a base game floaty maybe. I mean, we got these lounge chairs and we got them in Island Living, but we also got a base game one, so they could also do that with a floaty, to be honest. Just a basic base game floaty, please. And I would like to have some slides and just lots of fun things for a proper pool party, because whenever I played the game and not just build, pool parties were my favorite thing. But unfortunately, my Sims and my guests had no idea what to do. They had no idea that I'm hosting a pool party right now, so they would just walk to the inside. So I had to lock the door so they wouldn't spend all the time on the PC. I don't know if this is still an issue, if they fixed this, but I really want them to focus on the pool and the area around the pool, the bar, and just having some food there, a barbecue, this kind of stuff. I don't know. I love this. Like, this is one of the best things about summer, just when you have the option to spend some time in a pool and right next to a pool having a barbecue. Like, this is one of my dearest childhood memories. I spent all summer in the pool, and then we had a barbecue in the evening, and I just love this. I don't know. This is like such a fun memory for me, and I just also love pool parties in The Sims, to be honest, and just having a barbecue and all that. And please don't walk to the PC all the time. I mean, I'm saying this while I'm sitting here building all day, but I guess you know what I mean. It can be really annoying when your Sims do this kind of thing. I then started to work on the floor plan, which is a bit weird, I have to admit. I built a long hallway which kind of connected everything, but it was kind of tricky to turn this into a house. I also built a bedroom at the bottom, so 2 bedrooms are upstairs and the other one is down there right next to the kitchen. And this isn't the biggest house, as I said. Recently I always use so much space just for the landscaping and the stuff, and I don't know, I have to build a huge 10-bedroom house again at some point. But I'm always happy when I start to furnish that there aren't 10 bedrooms, to be honest. And the inside is really modern, and in some ways it's pretty neutral, lots of muted colors, but at the same time I wanted to have a slight pop of color, just as I've used the slide on the outside. So I decided to use lots of orange, as you will see. And here I just used a trick that I've learned from the amazing Samarki, aka Steph. I'm going to link her down below, just show her all the love. She's just the best. And years ago I watched a stream of hers, and she used a trick where she placed a dishwasher in a counter and then she sized down the dishwasher. This way you're only left with the countertop. But back then when she came up with this idea, we didn't have tool yet, so you could only size down the dishwasher the old-fashioned way, and it wouldn't size down so much, so you would still see it, and you had to place something below the counter, so you just had to hide it basically. But now we have tool, so you can just scale down your dishwasher so it's invisible, just the way I did for the windows for the glass pool, and this is what I did here. But this wonderful idea is from her. And I don't know, I'm sometimes really good, sometimes not always, with coming up with some fun ideas for the exterior, but all these interior hacks, this isn't like something that I'm really good at, so I'm always happy when other builders come up with some fun interior ideas. As I've told you back then, I always played with CC, and there was definitely a learning curve for me to just furnish without any CC and to do it this way. And I don't know, I do my best and I like a lot of my interiors, but there's still a learning curve, and I'm definitely not the pro here, and I'm not coming up with all these fun ideas. So I'm always happy when I learn something new, just like I've learned the dishwasher trick from Samarki years ago. And yeah, lots of orange. This sofa is from Discover University. It's really bright, and I have no idea why I've never used this swatch before. I mean, maybe because it's so bright, and I really enjoy monochrome interiors usually, but it just looks so happy and it's just perfect. I decided to go with orange because of this rug from Island Living. It's also orange, and then the orange bar stool, and at this point I thought, oh my god, this looks so cool, I'm going to go totally overboard with the orange, even though it's a bit much. I feel like I either use no color at all, or I start to use a color and then I use it a lot, which might be a bit too much, but I feel like the floor and the walls are so neutral and so muted that this orange pop of color might be fun. I could also imagine using this color for some type of mid-century modern build. I think it's just so much fun, and the orange just makes me happy. And then I used this rim divider from Moschino Stuff Pack to just build a shower. I've done this before, but I've used the Island Living glass floors and I rotated them using tool, which is more tedious and not everyone uses tool, so I figured here I would simply use this Moschino Stuff Pack wall divider. So this is just quick and easy. Anyone who owns Moschino Stuff Pack can do this. So in this case I didn't use my beloved Island Living glass floors, just 2 of them on top to have a glass ceiling. And here I'm furnishing one of the bedrooms, and I can already say that soon I will be building a couple of haunted mansions. Like on Twitter I said that I will build some haunted houses, and multiple people were like, yeah, haunted mansions, which is of course true. We all know that I'm going to build a huge house, multiple huge houses, aka mansions. I'm really excited about that. It's not spooky season, but I love anything spooky all the time, so I'm here for that. I feel like it's like spooky season part 2, because usually all that stuff only happens at Halloween and like in spooky season. So I'm really excited for the new pack. We will have some haunted houses on this channel as soon as the pack drops in a couple of weeks. I still have no idea what's the exact date. I'm sorry about that. I completely forgot, but it's in a couple of weeks, I'm sure. And I'm just really excited about this, and I hope that you're ready for some spooky content, even though it's not spooky season. If you have any specific requests for this, or generally a couple of requests or ideas, something that I should build, something that you would love to see, just let me know in the comments down below. The cabin that I've built a couple of weeks or months ago or something was a request from you, for example, and just different things. Sometimes you just let me know what you want to see and I just build it. So yeah, just leave a comment down below, and this is it. Here you can see some screenshots. This build is fully furnished, CC free and unmodded, and available in the gallery. You can find all the information down below in the description box. I'm also going to pin the gallery link to the comments so you can easily find it, because sometimes it's really difficult to find a build in the gallery. I would like to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a absolutely perfect week. I love you all, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.